Well, hi everybody, welcome back. This is Kim. This is going to be what happened to my thingy? There we go. Doordash, Grubhub, and Uber Eats Ride Along video. This is basically a summary of Wednesday and Thursday night of last week. We had a very weird, slightly scary thing that happened, and I'm going to tell you all about it. I attempted to record actually in the car. I took the GoPro with us. I had it on a handheld selfie stick sort of thing. And I did record both nights, but when I checked the videos, well, let's just say it's better if I just summarize what happened. Otherwise, you're all going to be car sick, motion sick. I could not keep the camera steady, and I got a little nauseous watching it. Sometimes words and pictures are just better than video, I think. Definitely in this case. And some really odd things happened, so stay tuned. I'm going to tell you about them. Anyways, so Wednesday night first. Don't normally go out on Wednesday night, but we didn't have anything else planned, so we're like, what the heck, let's go out for a little bit, see what happens. And I really wanted to try to do a ride with me video with my husband, doing a nighttime one. I always do it on the weekends usually when I'm by myself, and I really wanted to give it a shot. Let me tell you, it was pretty bad. Most of the offers we got, especially at the beginning, were really low. But it was nice because my husband was driving, so I could concentrate on the app. I didn't have to worry about trying to do it while I was driving and pulling over, and I can actually look at the map, when I got an offer and stuff. So it was nice. I like when he drives. Don't have to worry about parking, etc. And of the deliveries that we accepted, food was pretty much ready everywhere, which was nice. I think the restaurants have gotten more accustomed to doing the deliveries and, getting the food out quicker. Especially, I think that the restaurants are not as busy as they were right when the mask mandates ended and stuff. I think they've just adjusted better. The only place I had to wait was Islands. I had to wait 2 to 3 minutes just because they had to make a shake. But anyways, yeah. It was a weird night, though. Something happened that has never happened to me before, so I'm going to tell you all about it. So anyways, this was the first offer we got. It was advertised at $17.50. It was not very far. I think it said like 5 miles. It was a good one to start with. Easy pickup, easy deliveries. Just wings right here. It's inside of Chili's. So they have a new process there. You wait outside. So you basically, in the act, it was a DoorDash delivery. So in the DoorDash app, when you arrive, you click arrived, and it says that you have to wait in the customer pickup area, and you basically has a prompt in the app to tell you where you choose which parking spot you're in. I'm like, okay, I think we parked in number 3, so I picked number 3. And then it pops up, there's like a little pop-up screen that says an estimate of how long before the food will be brought out to you. It says, wait in your car. I'm like, okay. It said less than 5 minutes. I'm like, okay, I was a little skeptical, but I'm like, fine, we'll just wait here, see how long it takes. And the girl came out with the food in probably like 2 minutes. So yay, I'm a fan. I don't know if it's always accurate, but this time it was. This was advertised at $17.50, but I thought that maybe it would have been more, especially because there was, I think it said 8 items or something like that. But anyways, whatever. This is what it was. No added hidden tips. It was $17.50, which was still great. It was really quick. It did not take us long at all. So here's where the weird thing happened. Okay, so I'm keeping a mental note of this address, and I'm never going to go here again. Let me tell you why. So this was the delivery that I'm talking about. It was the weirdest one that I've ever had, really, and something that has never happened before, to me at least. The mileage was kind of far, like 12 miles. But it was freeway miles, and that was okay because it took us to an area where we like to go. So this area down here, there's a lot of restaurants in here and a little bit west. When I originally got the offer, when I looked at the Uber Eats map, it's really small and it's zoomed out, so it's hard to tell exactly where you're going to be going. And I'm sure they do that on purpose. But it looked like the delivery was very close to the freeway. But it was not. As you can tell, it was way up here. Now, I don't condone taking these long distance deliveries generally, but the way we work is I'll sometimes take a long one at the beginning if it takes me out here to Agoura, only because not a lot of people work out here, I don't think, because it's always super busy. And you can get pretty good money in this area. So I generally will accept the far ones to take you out here. And then I stay out here for a little bit, and then I generally work our way back. We live west of here. So that's what our plan is. We kind of stay out here, and then as the starts getting closer to when we're going to end, we try to find ones taking us back home. Anyways, took the food and headed to the customer. This street right here, this is Chesborough Road. Okay, so basically the cross streets on the map, on the offer, and it said Chesborough Road, but it didn't have another cross street. It just said Chesborough Road. And on the map, I thought it was down right in this area. This street is a very thin, narrow street, and it goes back. There's like this park area here. There's like a one-lane bridge. I don't know. It's just a very long, slow drive out here. That's not where the problem is, though. I mean, that was part of the problem, and I was kind of frustrated with myself that I accepted this when I found out it was way back here. But, okay, whatever, right? That's fine. Now, we head up Chesborough Road, like I said, and we finally find the house. It's way up there. It's this big, beautiful house behind a gate. We ring the bell on the gate. They let us in. Okay, everything's fine. I had to walk up a bunch of steps. It was like the house was elevated from the driveway area, which was fine, not a big deal. Drop off the food, left it at the door as requested. It was odd to me because there were a couple other bags on the little table from a couple other restaurants. So I'm like, they never picked up their food. Okay, whatever. I mean, we rang the bell and they let us in, so they knew I was coming. Anyways, I didn't knock or anything. I figured, okay, they knew I was coming. This other food's sitting here. I'm not really sure why. That was kind of odd. Whatever. Get in the car, go to leave. The gate won't open. So we back up a little bit, thinking maybe there's like a sensor or something. The gate still doesn't open. I thought it was a little odd because I think that's kind of like really dangerous that the gate doesn't just automatically open when you want to leave, right? And they obviously knew I came to deliver the food. Why didn't they open the gate to let us out? Their son was out there playing basketball in the yard, so I finally went over to try to get him to open it. He was kind of oblivious, not even paying attention, but then he finally did come over and entered the code on the little pad so we could leave. But we were basically stuck in their yard. Yes, I could have gone back up to the house and knocked on the door, and that would have been my next choice, obviously. I had already marked the order delivered, so I no longer had access to the customer via the app. I couldn't text them or call them or anything. It was just so weird, and I'm just really glad my husband was with me, let's just say that. It was a very strange feeling to be locked in, and I don't know, the whole thing just kind of bugged me, and it kind of irritated me that why wouldn't they just let me leave? I don't know, the whole thing was so strange. Has this ever happened to you? I don't know. I just thought it was so odd, and the kid was like oblivious. He was playing basketball, and we drove right next to him, and he just like didn't even I don't know, notice that we were there. I don't know. The whole thing was really odd. So anyways, I'm never going back to that house again, let me just say. So that was my little super weird thing that happened. Anyways, after that, I had accepted an Islands delivery. It was heading back towards a house, sort of. Back to an area where there's a lot of other restaurants anyway. So, anyways, picked it up. I had to wait a few minutes. They were making the shake, but it was a huge order. So I was kind of hoping that there would be more of a tip, but that's all it was. There was no hidden tip. It was easy pickup, easy delivery. I mean, it was a lot of food, over $140 worth of Islands. There was a gigantic bag, and it was full, and there was drinks, and anyways, whatever. We decided to quit and go out to dinner after this. I'm thinking, you know what? People are not tipping well, and I just felt like that weird order where we were locked in the person's house was just, I mean, not in their house, but in their yard. I don't know, it just kind of was in my head. I just wasn't into it anymore. I'm like, let's just go have dinner. So we went to this place called The Stand. We'd never been there before, and I'd always wanted to try it. So it was good. We had a nice dinner, and then we went home. So, yeah. So here's our Wednesday totals. We basically delivered for an hour and a half. Things just dried up after 7, and like I said, I was just done. I had you know, it wasn't fun. Made a total of $45.73 in an hour and a half. So that was $30.48 an hour. So not horrible, not great. It was just, yeah, it is what it is. There was a little bit more weird things that happened on Thursday, so I'm going to tell you about those too. Nothing to the extent of this, though. Just app weird things. Anyways, let's move on to, please subscribe. I'd love for you to subscribe. I really want to get to 500 people. I want the community tab. I'm not really sure what the community tab even has, but I really want it. I wanted to be able to leave messages and have polls and stuff like that. And just interact with my subscribers a little bit differently. So if you have not subscribed, please do. I would appreciate it. Okay, let's move on to Thursday night. Okay, busier than Wednesday night. We drive on Thursday nights quite often. It's usually pretty good. We didn't start till about 5:30, and I got a decent offer right after turning on the app. Food was ready most places, but I did have to unassign a couple. And I had some weird Doordash app issues that I will tell you about. They're not unheard of. People have these issues all the time, but it's kind of annoying. So we got this Chipotle offer right off the bat. Low mileage delivery, easy start, no issues whatsoever. $12.25, bang, we're done. Then I got this stacked order after rejecting a handful of low offers. You know, you got to cherry pick. These are two decent restaurants, so I was thinking maybe there'd be a hidden tip on one of them, or maybe both. But no, this was what it was advertised as, and that was what I got. And as I arrived at Love Sushi, I also received an Uber Eats Love Sushi pickup, so I grabbed that one too. And then I went in and both were ready. This one from Doordash and also the one for Uber Eats. The Uber Eats customer was like a mile past the further of these two. I don't remember which one I delivered first, but it delivered in one area, one neighborhood, and then the Uber Eats customer was like literally like a mile further. So I'm like, okay, perfect. So it ended up being a triple. And nobody had to wait for anybody else. They were all like bam bam on the way to each other. So it was great. The food was ready as Love Sushi, like I said. Picked those both up. Then I went to Lazy Dog, and the food was ready at Lazy Dog. They brought it out like literally a minute after I told them I was there. That has never happened. And actually, the Lazy Dog food was 3 minutes early. It was crazy. So, yeah, that was fantastic. Anyways, so headed off to deliver those. Easy peasy, nothing happened. This was the add-on Uber Eats from Love Sushi. That extra mile or so added on $14.70 to the total. So the triple ended up being about $34, and it took me about a half hour total to do all three. So that was great. Then Doordash Problem number 1. So So after delivering that string of orders, I wanted to see where we were money-wise. And DoorDash only showed 2025 as my Dash earnings so far. I knew it was more than that because I had the 1225 and then the 19 that I just got this for the stacked order. You know, that's 3125, right? Uh-oh, you know, I'm thinking, where's the rest of the money? And it didn't add up because the 2025 wasn't just 1225 and it wasn't just 19, you know what I mean? So it wasn't like one of these orders was missing. I was like, oh gosh, what's going on? And my app was locked up. So I couldn't click on anything, couldn't do anything. I forced it closed. And then it took forever to open back up. Yikes, I was like, oh my god, is the app gonna crash? And when it finally did open, it did let me resume my Dash, and the correct money amount did show up, thank goodness. I thought I was going to have to call support and try to get the money, and I didn't really take screenshots, so I didn't really have any proof of anything. I mean, I did have my video that I was filming, and I did have the dash cam for my husband's car, so I could prove I went these places, but I didn't have any proof of the money, so I was like, oh great. So anyways, all was well that ends well. It was fine, but it was a little stressful for a minute there. And this took me a few minutes to get it up, back, and going too. Anyways, so then I took this other longish distance delivery because I thought heading back to Agoura might be a good plan. Like I was talking about Wednesday night, sometimes I head to Agoura, deliver there, and then head back. Anyways, this house was right on Canaan Road, which is a canyon road that goes from Agoura to Malibu. It wasn't really far down, so it was pretty close to Agoura, actually. Anyways, people drive really fast on that road, and the customer's driveway was in a straightaway area where people go extra fast. The pickup from the restaurant was quick, and the delivery to the house was quick, and she was waiting at the gate for us, which was nice. But then we had to risk our lives to get out of there. Literally, there were cars racing by. It was kind of scary, but we did it. This pickup was a restaurant inside of Doghouse, which is a hot dog place. So that always scares me a little bit because they're either on the ball or super slow. But the food was ready, so that was fantastic. Yeah, so that was $18.45 for 9.5 miles total. So yeah, that's, like I said, it was a little bit of a longer distance, but like I was explaining on the Wednesday summary, we like to sometimes head out that way because there's not as many drivers in that area, I don't think. Anyways, moving on to DoorDash problem number 2. So drop that off, and the DoorDash app starts glitching. So what happened this time was it would come up with an offer, but it will only show the order where you're picking up and an amount. Nothing shows on the map. There's no delivery details. It's like a blank map, and it'll say pick up from IHOP or something, and you're going to get $9. Doesn't tell you any mileage, doesn't tell you where you're going to, nothing. So I never accept any offers when it looks like that, because who knows what you're agreeing to. So I closed the app again, and at this point I was a little nervous to turn it back on. I'm thinking, oh gosh, what's going to happen now? But I did, and then I got an offer. I'm like, okay, great. I was just thought the app was going to be crashed, but it was fine, and I got this one. It was whatchamacallit? What was I going to say? Anyways, it was easy. This Lamena Peruvian eatery, I have never been there before, so I didn't really know what to expect. I didn't know if the food was going to be ready. Anyways, we had driven quite a ways from where we had dropped off that Agoura one, because we started heading back home because I'm thinking, oh my god, if DoorDash is going to be crashing on us. I didn't want to rely on Uber Eats because it hadn't been very busy. So I'm like, oh, let's just head back act like we're going to go home. We can go get dinner or something. And And then I always do this thing where I talk to my phone. I'm like, okay, give us one going back towards home. You know, that'd be great. Pay us to go home. So that's when this one popped up, which is fantastic because it was delivering just a little bit past our house. I'm like, great. So we park, and all of a sudden I get one for Uber Eats, which was awesome. It was for CPK, which was like 2 blocks away from Limena, and it was delivering in our actual neighborhood where we live. I'm like, oh my God, this is perfect. So now we've got a double, one from Doordash at Limena, and however you would pronounce this, I'm calling it Limena, I don't know. And then the CPK from Uber Eats. Great, they're both going very close together. This will be fantastic. So now we went, we have a double, basically. But, picked up the Limena order. That took about 5 minutes, no problem. Dove to CPK, and then the girl tells me, oh, we just got that order. It's going to be at least 15 minutes. And I hate when places say that they just got the order, because I've had it for at least 5 minutes. I'm sure they did too. Maybe they just looked at their app, or maybe that's just their line and they just say that to everybody. I'm not really sure. But CPK is a pretty bad place to pick up from. Food is never ready there. They always tell you it's 15 minutes, and who knows how long it's going to be. I never stay. I had never accepted an Uber Eats from CPK though, so I wanted to give it a try because Uber Eats is usually good at estimating when the food will be ready. And that's why I gave it a shot. I knew I could unassign it easily if the food was not ready, and of course the food was not ready. I messaged the Uber Eats customer to tell them that the food was not going to be ready for at least 15 more minutes, and then I unassigned it and went to deliver the other customer's food. I didn't want them to have to wait. Some people say I shouldn't have messaged that Uber Eats customer, I should just unassign it or whatever, but I like to let the customers know that the reason their food is late is because of the restaurant. It's not always the driver. They blame everything on the drivers, but most of the time it's the restaurant's fault. So I wanted the customer to know that. Anyways, so I messaged the customer and told them that the food wasn't ready yet and that another driver would be assigned to pick it up for them. So anyways, yeah. So after delivering the Limena order, we received I accepted a $12.50 2.5 mile offer for Dongting Spring. They're not the quickest place, but they're usually pretty honest about the wait times. And I figured by the time I got there, because it was like about, 5-ish, maybe 10-minute drive from where I delivered to go pick that up. I figured, okay, we'll head over there. So anyways, I hoped the food would be almost ready. Oh, it'll be 5 minutes, she says. I'm like, really, 5 minutes? She goes, oh yeah, 5 minutes, almost ready. I'm like, okay, so I wait. And then she comes out and says, oh, I'm sorry, still 5 minutes. And I'd already been waiting 5 minutes. I'm like, okay, so I had texted the customer, and the customer responded back, oh, it's never ready when they say, but it's worth it to me. I don't mind the wait. I'm like, okay, well, I don't want to wait. But anyway, so I waited the second 5 minutes, and now it had been at least 10 minutes, probably 12 minutes. And, I just decided that I was going to unassign the delivery. And I basically just responded back, I think I just said, it's been taking too long, so I'm going to unassign the delivery, but DoorDash would find another driver to pick it up for her. I could have just left, like I said, but I wanted to tell her why, because the food wasn't ready. Maybe she's willing to wait, but I'm not willing to wait and sit there forever for $12.50. And I'm still going to have to drive to her house and everything. So I just decided to leave and call it a night. So I unassigned a few tonight, and I could have waited, but I chose not to. Sometimes it's just not worth it. But anyways, it was a decent night, really, all in all. There were some DoorDash glitches and a couple unassigned orders, but the orders that I took were fine, and they were decent. and we made good money. I can't remember if we were out for 2 hours and 15 minutes or 2.5 hours. I don't know. When I drive myself, I use the Stride app, so I start, I put the start time, and then I know when I'm done, so I know exactly how long I go. But I didn't do that because I didn't. Anyways, after that last offer, I was done. Blah blah blah. We made a total of $78.15. So, if it was 2 hours and 15 minutes, then we made $34.73 an hour, and $31.26 an hour if it was 2 hours instead of 30 minutes. So somewhere in there, we made over the $30 an hour, which is our goal. Of course, we'd like to make $40 an hour, but lately all we've been getting is in the 30s. So, anyways, which is still decent. It's extra money for us. We don't live off of this money. We do it for extra things. Like right now, we're going to have a bathroom remodeled. And my daughter's getting married. We have a wedding to pay for. So that's what this money is for. It's not. We don't use it. We don't rely on this to live off of. I know not everyone's in that same position. But that's why we only go a few hours here, a few hours there. And it's just all extra money. So, yeah. Anyways, I hope that you enjoyed this. We really appreciate it. Thanks for watching. And I have some more Drive With Me videos from Friday and Saturday that actually were recorded using the mount on the windshield, so they came out a little bit better than the other ones I tried to do with the selfie stick. So look forward to those. I should hopefully have them ready to post in a couple days. But anyways, thanks for watching. Hope you're doing well, making lots of money. See you soon.